Hello, besties. Good evening. It's Friday. It's the weekend, and we're gonna kick start the weekend with a Kiki. It's going to be so much fun, and I have a very special guest tonight. She runs Besties by Bravo, which is hysterical. TikToks are freaking hysterical. Her Instagram posts, and she also has a podcast, also by the name Besties by Bravo. I'm bringing to the stage Caitlin Marshall.
Hi.
Hello.
Oh my gosh, can you enter every room before me and introduce me like that? Because, oh my gosh, what an introduction. Thank you. I'm so glad to
You're.
join you. I love your
I'm,
content.
oh, thank you. I'm so happy that you accepted my invitation to come on the pod and
Of course.
spend a Friday night just talking about our passion, which is Bravo.
Yes. And y'all, he's coming on my podcast too, because I mean, he has the best takes, right?
Oh my gosh! So let's start with let's bring the heat first before we go
Yeah.
anywhere else. We're gonna talk about Miami. So I want you to start. I want you to tell me how are you feeling about this season and everything that we saw in the last episode.
Okay, now, first of all, if any of you are still sleeping on Miami just because it's on Peacock, let this be your warning, advice. Quit sleeping on them. These ladies are bringing it this season. I love it. It's better than even the OG Miami, right?
Yes.
Wouldn't you say? Now, this episode, I liked it. I loved our new Queen Petty Nicole. I'm just I'm gonna let you know my opinion right now. I How did she come up with mirror mirror? I could I could not imagine being that creatively petty. You know what I mean?
And like the best part is like they show, Gertie being so excited for this package, thinking that is this like a special invitation to like somewhere beautiful to talk all their
Yes.
issues, and in reality is an invitation to her engagement party.
Yeah, Gertie's even like, well, I didn't get one. Well, good. You don't want one of those, Gertie.
I mean, honestly, on this situation, I know that I love a petty queen. I love that, and I
Oh yeah.
love that Nicole is activated because let's be honest, Larsa was way too messy with that comment that she made on the last episode.
I agree. It's interesting because I remember how everyone was like, "Well, what happened between Larsa and Kim Kardashian that they no longer were friends anymore?" And I started to wonder after a comment she made specifically saying, "Oh, I knew too much about her and Kanye and I was in the middle of it." Well, if she was coming at Kim with this same type of energy anytime Kim said anything she didn't like, well, no wonder Kim dropped her on her ass. She probably bounced a few times, but she dropped her on her ass.
I know, and the funniest part is that Nicole called her out in this episode. She said like she hasn't just not come after me; she has come after everybody with
True.
very, very slanderous comments, like like her sleeping with everybody in her hospital, and you also have when she was talking about Julia making out with a guy in the club, and I'm thinking like,
Mhm.
yeah, I mean it's really damaging because she is playing with topics that are you know an issue for somebody's reputation,
Yeah,
especially Nicole's comment. Like that is really hard. And like she said, she's been working her whole life to achieve what she
absolutely.
has.
And not only that, she made a great point that uh, let's just say there are probably in her entire hospital, maybe 20% of the physicians are actually female. And then not only that, she's Latina. So on top of that, she's even more in a minority group already just in her profession. And yes, Nicole is gorgeous. I think I've seen so many polls on social media saying that she's like the hottest housewife there is, and that's clearly subjective. But I would say that it probably has been something that people in her profession have been jealous of her being hot and smart and successful, and they probably have already tried to spread those type of rumors. And listen, I don't know who's trusting Larsa with all of this tea, but stop trusting her because I highly doubt that she's even repeating exactly what she's heard.
Right? And what she does is like she uses anything to make somebody else feel less than her. And that's why I agree with Nicole. She is always trying to make somebody else feel very insecure of their success. And like you
Yeah.
mentioned, Nicole is not only a woman, she's a Latina,
Hmm.
which is already an a topic, especially in Florida, where people are always looking for any issue to make women feel less than. And then you
Hmm.
have Larsa questioning her success in her career.
Yeah.
And Nicole was like, I can't believe that the person who charges $5 for her fee is questioning my 20 years in the medical field. Is insane. And I'm here for that type of pettiness. I'm here for that. And I'm so
Yes.
happy that Nicole called her out.
I am too, and come on, Larsa, at least charge $15 for those feet. I mean, get enough to pay for half of a pedicure or something. But no, I totally agree. And that's the thing too, is like Larsa gets mad at everyone else for doing the exact same shit that she does. Like the whole BBL thing with Adriana. Oh my God. Larsa, you're not a Kardashian. I'm just gonna my camera and my screen are two different places. So sorry, friends, if I'm kind of looking like up and down a little bit. So I'm just gonna go directly to camera because of course Larsa's listening to me. Girl, admit it. You're not a Kardashian. We know that your body was not built like that. No one is built like that. It's not normal. Just admit it. Okay? Great. Now we can move on and say that you paid for your butt just like Adriana did. Who cares?
and
What's
I,
the big deal?
And you said something very true. If you put a picture of Larsa from the original cast and her new pictures, it's two different people. And I'm here for I love a good plastic surgery. I love people
Yeah.
who have the the ones to look better. I'm here for that. But if you have done anything to your body, be honest about it. Nobody's gonna judge you. This is 2023. People actually support somebody who's honest. So just be
Yes.
honest. Your body was not like that. Your butt was not that big. You can just say that,
Yeah.
and
I
people will
mean,
move on.
you did not have the dirty diaper butt 5 years ago. We all know that. So come on. Like, let's just admit it. I totally agree. But let's be honest because I'm more supportive of someone who's honest than I am of someone who lies like a wannabe Kardashian, like Larsa. Sorry, I do enjoy your pettiness, Larsa, but Nicole's pettiness is more fun. Thank you.
Yeah, we have a question here from Aaron. What do everyone think of Alexia's giving Larsa a pass?
Okay. So I'm going to jump in here. There's something that I have said, which is that Alexia, I this can be tentative on depending on each episode, but Alexia is so much like Teresa Giudice. She's like the Miami version of Teresa Giudice, and I would say that typically Alexia is the more likable version. It was very much to me something that Teresa would do. She had a lot of moments in this last episode that were like that, and I feel like it's very much of that same like loyalty to the wrong person. And Alexia gave a pass also to Nicole's dad, which she took all those moments with him completely like out of context. It doesn't make, yeah. So no, I think Alexia just gives people a pass when she's loyal to them. And I don't even think that she's, really, I don't even know that she really feels that way because that's totally something Alexia would say is like, hey, I need to know you before I invite you to my home. I could totally see Alexia saying that. And so, no, I don't think in her opinion, I don't believe her opinion that she was like, oh, that was kind of rude. No, it wasn't. It was shady a little, but it wasn't rude.
I gotta agree. I love Alexia. Alexia's one of my favorite Miami ladies, and I'm so happy that she had lasted this long. I think she
Yeah.
brings so many storylines on her own. She had her family, her marriage, and her
Mm,
marriage, previous marriages. I mean, were crazy. Um, but on this topic, I must say I'm on Nicole's side. Larsa
mm,
shouldn't have gotten a pass. Like you said, I think it comes from a term of loyalty and maybe knowing Larsa longer than she knows Nicole.
mm-hmm.
Um, I yeah, she maybe said that yeah, you should have brought it to the house. It was rude. I'm like, no, I'm the type of person that I don't bring anyone and everyone to my home as well. Like
Right.
there has to be some boundary. There has to be a level of um trusting somebody when you
Yeah.
open your home to somebody to come in. So for Alexa to say like Nicole's comment was rude, I'm like, no, because I can see you saying that if you don't know the person.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
it seems a little like hypocritical in that moment.
I agree. Do you mind if I cheers you with I have a full glass of wine. Oh my god. Like this pour. Holy shit, guys.
This is all wine too. It's so funny you're
Oh
drinking
my
white
god.
wine.
What's your white wine of choice? Tell me.
We had one. I don't know, Chardonnay. I think it's a Chardonnay.
Okay. Okay. You like that
I,
buttery oaky kind of stuff.
I just grabbed the bottle. It was open and I pour in my. I did not look at the brand. Did not look what it was. I just pour it in the cup. It's like it's Friday. It's going.
Yeah, honey. Yes. It was open, it was chilled, it's done.
It was ready. So
Absolutely.
talking about Nicole's dad, what do you think about this guy? Because this guy's like a cartoon. He was a cartoon of an 80s drug dealer, and I was laughing.
Okay. As soon as I saw him at this party, I had immediate flashbacks to Aviva Drescher's dad. Do you remember him on Roni? And I was like, oh my God. I don't even remember his name. Why do I want to call him? It's not Walter, but I'm going to call him Walter. I don't know. I just have flashbacks of him. And then, when Marisol said, oh, he's just like Nicole. He's 2'2" and he's got the drug dealer glasses on. And I mean, Marisol has been cracking me up. Let me just side note that
Yes.
she's been fun. So, listen, between the way he was kind of going after Kiki, which Kiki is hot. I don't blame him. But
Gorgeous.
the whole thing where it's like, I like it when you call me Papa. I was like, please don't. Oh my God, please stop. I need you to stop right now. and and this is another moment that I always love Alexia. This episode, I was like, girl, no. There have been 2 episodes that I've kind of had to say that with her. The Russian
Yeah.
prostitute comments were the other episode. But,
Same.
and she was like, oh, Nicole needs to forgive her dad and just let him be who he is. Maybe in this context where it's like a normal time to be drinking and be drunk and having a good old grand time, she's not considering the time, like, for example, when he shows up shit-faced at Thanksgiving with a raw turkey for her to cook so he can take it to his girlfriend's house immediately after it's done. Like, there are some things we can accept and maybe some we don't have to. Just saying.
That's right. Remember when he showed up? I think he was like drunk or something to like a lunch
Yes.
with her, and he was a mess. How can you ignore all these red flags just because he's having a good time at this party? Yeah, he might be the type of person who can be very extroverted at a party, have a good time, drink, but we can't ignore that that doesn't translate into being a good father. And that's the
Right.
issue that Nicole has with her dad, that he hasn't been there for her when she truly needed him.
Yeah, he's basically, I wouldn't call him a high functioning alcoholic, but he's a slightly functioning alcoholic. He can get himself places. Safely is to be determined.
I was screaming at Marisol always making the drug comment, like, oh, he remind me of the 80s Miami, the old times, kind of like reminiscence, 80s cocaine kingpin Miami time. I'm like, oh my gosh, Marisol,
Oh,
you
right.
are
Like
you are
you're
too
on camera.
comfortable. You are too comfortable in front of the camera.
Right. Oh my God. Like Marisol, you're not supposed to admit to like, my friend called it this doing nose beers. Like, stop. Like, no, yes, you live in Miami, but we're trying not to perpetuate like this stereotype. But listen, Marisol likes a good time. I'm not going to knock her for it.
I know. I love Marisol. I
Yeah.
remember seeing her at BravoCon, and you can tell that she is a good time. She
Oh
is a
my God.
fun
Yeah.
person. She was always having a good time. So I can see how these comments make sense coming from Marisol,
Right.
but at the same time, it's like, I don't know if I should be
Laughing?
laughing or being concerned.
Both. That's your answer. Because I mean, listen, homegirl likes to have her cockies with her everywhere, which I whatever that's her storyline this season, it's fun. It's giving life. But let's stick with like one vice at a time.
Right, please.
Mhm.
I'm here for the cocktails. I'm here for all the stuff.
Yes.
I love when she pulled out a like a prop, like the juice, shaking the
Yeah.
juice and doing all the stuff. Girl, do all the stuff. Maybe watch while you talk about all this stuff. I don't know.
She's our prop and cocktail queen. Let's just stop there. Like with the skiing. Well, how many workaround references can I use?
And talking about Marisol, she did wear a white dress. Do you think it was on purpose or just happened to be wearing that night?
I don't think so. I think Marisol is probably one of those type of people that's like, it's not the wedding. I'm gonna wear white whenever I want to. Miami. So I'll just tell you this very brief story. So I used to work at Yves Saint Laurent, YSL, or Saint Laurent as it's now known as, and we would rarely get white leather handbags or white. Everything's real leather. I don't know why I preface that, but and if we did, there would maybe be like 15 in the entire company. And they always went to Las Vegas, but most of them went to Miami. And there's a parallel here that white is a color that I feel like is worn in Miami more often
Hmm.
than other places. And this was in Los Angeles, so it's warm there all the time for the most part. So I think it's a Miami thing. I hope that's not being stereotypical, but yeah. And also Nicole saying, hasn't she been married a few times and gotten her chance to wear white? Well, Nicole, you've been married before too. Why are you like harping on this? It's just your engagement party. It's like, whatever. Of course, if I were the
It,
bride, I'd be like, why the fuck is she wearing white?
no, it was given. Remember when Caroline Stanbury was having a big issue with Chanel Ayan at her wedding because she wore a cape and she thought the cape was a train, and it was this whole fight at the engagement party
Right.
because she also wore white. I'm like, well, first of all, Caroline Stanbury said that people could wear white. That was the theme of the engagement party. I
Right.
remember that on Dubai. Uh, Caroline told people wear white. So now that Chanel was wearing white, she wore a cape and she was having an issue with the cape because she said, oh, it looks like a train. So I feel like it's like the same situation with
Right.
Nicole when she saw a white dress and she was like, oh, you're trying to like outshine the bride. I'm like, it's your engagement party. It's not
Right.
your wedding.
Listen, there's something that happens to a bride, and I'm currently going through a divorce, so I've been married before, and there is something that happens to the brain, and I think it happens to grooms' brains too. It's not just the bride, but like I even had a friend one time who, when she was getting married, I was a bridesmaid, and like a 13-year-old cousin showed up in a floral dress that the background was white, but it was mostly like blue and pink flowers, and she freaked the fuck out. I'm sorry. I hope I can cuss on here. Um,
Yes, yes.
okay.
Okay.
And I was like, oh my God. Okay, babe, this is not going to be a big deal tomorrow. It's okay. It's just bride. I'm going to call it bride brain. I don't know.
Yeah. I was the only thing that I was like, maybe it was a little too much was the crown with the little pearls. I was like, it's giving bridal, but I don't know. I don't think Marisol have like the intention of of like outshining Nicole on her engagement party. I think
No.
it was just like you said, like Miami people do wear a lot of white because it's by the beach. It's pretty much like warm all year
Yeah.
round.
Yeah.
So you are allowed to wear white pretty much all year round. It's not like
Yeah.
here in up north, like here in New York, for example. Like, I can't wear white right now. It's snowing outside. It doesn't
You'd
make any
match.
sense. Yeah, I
I
don't
mean,
want to
there's
get
winter
lost.
white, but like still, I don't find Marisol to be like one of those malicious type of people. There are certain housewives, like I don't know, if Kenya Moore showed up in white, maybe we'd have a different conversation. You know what I mean? Or Marlo, two sides of the same coin.
I was gonna say either Kenya showing up to Marlo's wedding or Marlo showing up to Kenya wearing white. I can see them both doing the same thing
Yes,
to each other.
and we'd love it though at the same time.
Love it. Oh, I love Atlanta. I cannot wait for it to come back. There's so
Same.
much going on in Atlanta.
Hmm.
But I when it comes to Miami, there's something very important that I appreciate is the fact that these ladies can put aside their drama and focus on bigger issues. Like for example, Lisa going through what she's going. Even Adriana was like trying to like
Set
arrange
her
a
up.
meeting,
Yeah.
yeah, with somebody. I'm like, yeah, I mean, maybe Lisa's not ready right now, but that's what a true friend does. She wants to help her to get out of that funk and realize that numb troll looking man is not gonna come back.
Troll, exactly. You know what? Lenny is right up there with Michael Darby as far as I'm concerned. That, and also, I'm just going to say this right now. Like, if my friends do not start screaming, call 911, if my husband is cheating on me and the mistress is at my home and they're like, just if they are not losing their shit like that, they are not my real friends. Okay. Because I loved the way they rallied around her. I just, there's something so pure and amazing about Alexia just wild eyed, like, call 911. Yes, call them. Do something. Damn it. Like, kick his ass. I don't know.
What's really funny is like there is a, I don't know if it's a Spanish thing, like either Latino Hispanic thing. Like our first reactions to everything is call 911 for some
that.
reason. For some reason, call 911. And when she does that, it reminds me of my mom. For
Did it?
every little thing, anything. It could be a headache. It could be a simple headache that it can be cured with an aspirin. She's like, we should call 911. What happened is something else. I'm like, mother, it's a headache.
You know what? That's funny because didn't Marisol say her mom would, as a joke, call 911 to get
Yes.
I love that. See, you know, us Southern and Midwest white people, especially the white women, we're like, we'll go set his house on fire. And that's we're the ones who get 911 called on us. So I like how it's a little bit of a safer space there.
Oh my gosh. I Miami is given to me one of the top tier housewife this year. The past 2 seasons has been pure housewife gold, and especially this year with the whole Lisa and Lenny, it gets to show how you can still have all the drama going on and all the bad press that she's having for the divorce and stuff, because Lenny just can't keep his mouth shut and trying to defend himself on the media. But also you can see a cast that they don't need to bring people down just for the sake of it, because we see that happening in other franchises where
Right.
somebody's truly going through something really hard and they're still kicking it until like, I'm like, come on. Like, this is something like very, very personal, like a divorce that is very public, and the ladies are like, yeah, we have issues, but we are going to protect you, and like by any means,
Yeah.
like in any form.
The
Hi,
relationships
Philly
are more
Diva.
important. That's what I like about it too.
Yes, I agree. I mean, it shows that the cast are true friends. It's not just some people thrown into the mix, like Salt Lake City.
Beverly Hills. Yeah.
And
I mean,
it pisses me off because Beverly Hills used to be my favorite franchise, but since Lisa Vanderpump left and the Four Fox Five got formed, I I mean, it doesn't feel like a friendship. It feels like an alliance. And
which is what it is. We're if we wanted to watch Survivor, we would tune into CBS. We are not
yes,
wanting to watch Survivor. We don't need that. It's not, and I know, I'm sure everyone is tired of hearing about Lisa Rinna leaving and all of that. I truly wish that she had taken a step back and said, "You know what, guys? I jumped the gun on a lot of things. I was going through it because I think a lot of us would have forgiven her crazy behavior. I mean, losing a parent is a lot, right? I would have loved to see her come back around the old Lisa Rinna villain, when just the Lisa Rinna who was like, were people doing coke in your bathroom? That's the Lisa Rinna. I used to love her. That bitch blocked me, but I'm one of hundreds. Are you blocked by Lisa?
oh yeah, but she blocked me for a reason though. She
Oh,
had
what?
reason. Oh, I called her out so many times and shit.
Oh, good. Okay, at least you earned it.
Oh yeah, and it happened. It happened, I believe, with the Denise situation, because I've been calling her out for many things, but there was something very. I I'm a loyal friend,
Yeah.
and knowing that Lisa and Denise were friends way before the show started, like back in the day, they had decades of a friendship, and Lisa Rinna didn't have uh the kind of like the compassion for Denise in that moment,
Mm.
and people tend to forget what Denise was going through. It was more, it was beyond the Brandy situation. She was going through a court case to keep her kids, and have like sole custody because she was having a custody battle with Charlie
Yeah.
Sheen in that moment. So I don't know, not that many people know, but when they were filming that season, she was going through that, and there was an agreement between the cast, production, and herself to not talk about the custody battle because she didn't want the show to, like, kind of influence the
Right.
the
And
decision.
anything can. Anything can.
Anything. So she will say, "I'm going to work," or "I was at work," when she was actually on a court day. And
Oh.
uh,
Oh, I didn't
Kyle
know that.
Kyle Richards used to try to have her talk about it, and she didn't like that. That's why when she said, "Look at the camera, like bravo, bravo, fucking bravo," that was the reason
Oh.
why she did it, because she was trying to stop them from keeping her, uh, like keep asking her about it because she
About
knew where they
working
were
when she
going.
was at court trying to keep
Exactly.
custody of her children
That's right.
from someone who was having public meltdowns. Charlie Sheen, I mean, God. Do you remember back when it was like winning? Oh my gosh. Wow.
so
That
so
was a trip.
and then the whole like, ooh, you're so angry because she's saying like season the season stuff like that. So all the stuff,
That
I
makes so
started
much
to
more
calling
sense.
them out, and she blocked me
Mm,
on Instagram. She blocked me on Twitter for something else. Or no, she deleted her Twitter account actually, but
recently, I think.
her Instagram, she blocked me on it. And Philly Diva said that she's blocked. She pretty much blocked
I
everybody
love
at
her.
one point.
I love Kristen. She is awesome. I saw that you had her.
Yes.
Love that girl.
Yes, we had a great kiki together, and she was on my end of the year 2022 like best, worst, and the what the fuck moments on Bravo, and it was great. I love my Philly diva, and since we're
Yes.
gonna since we're gonna be talking about the best, the worst, and the what the fuck, I wanna ask you those best, worst, and what the fuck moments on Southern Hospitality. Since we're gonna switch the gears to Soho.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna take one more sip of my wine before I answer this. Okay.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we are almost at the end of the show. This
Yes.
upcoming episode on Monday is the finale. It's a show that I personally really like.
Yeah.
I seem, people are on the fence, and I always tell people give it a chance. Not every show start with a great first episode. Give
Right.
it 2 3 episodes, and you will be hooked, and you will be starting loving the cast. I love the cast. I'm excited. I'm going to meet them in February. We're gonna have a
Are
kiki down in
you?
Charleston. Yeah, I'm coming down to Charleston
Oh
and
my
have a good
God. I
time.
want to come. How fun. I would love to go to Charleston. I hear the food is like actually fantastic.
I mean, if
Um,
you wanna come, you're more
oh my
than
God. Okay.
welcome.
Just give me the dates. All right.
Yes, I'll message you the dates. We're going on February 3rd for like 3 or 4 days, so I'll let you know. I'll send you the
Okay, let me know.
message.
I'll see if I can go. I mean, yeah. Okay. Oh, the best, the worst, and the what the fuck. Okay, why don't we start with the what the fuck?
Yes.
The peanut butter on the penis. What the fuck?
Yes.
Uh, I mean, like, okay, yes, there are worse things, like I don't know, like mayonnaise or horseradish or like I don't know, sriracha. But who the fuck goes, hey, let me put some peanut butter on your penis? I can't. Like, that's what are you, a dog? Like, oh my God, that sounds like one of those like rumors that you hear about. Like, okay, when we were in like junior high or elementary school, high school, even all the way up to college, when we all heard those rumors about like Marilyn Manson removing ribs to like give himself
Yes.
fellatio. Okay, it's like one of those type of rumors to me, but except she was like, oh no, it's true. Why?
I love that she didn't even like deny it. She was like, "Yeah, it's true." I'm like,
Uh-huh.
"Okay, TMI, girl, TMI."
No. Um, I'm gonna go with the worst was when Emmy was trying to out that guy. Now I just forgot his name for his what trying to find out if he was homosexual or not. And that's me putting that in the best way possible because what the fuck? Who does that?
Yeah.
That's the moment that I suddenly was like, oh, I love TJ. The way he explained that, which he shouldn't have had to. But I was like, thank you for explaining that for the people in the back who don't get that, right?
Yes.
Um, and then the best moment, I just okay, I have a love hate for Grace Lilly. when she's in, I think she was with Lucia at the florist, and she's like, I've had like 3 to 4 spiritual awakenings that I know of. She's 24 fucking years old. How many spiritual awakenings has she had? She's like, I feel like I was a pirate in another life. Like, power to the pussy. I was like, where? Who are you? What are you doing?
And that happened in the same sentence. This is the funniest part. It happened. This is not two different conversations. This is not different sentences. This is the same sentence.
I mean, it was like, there was something so like dead ass serious. I have had 3 to 4 spiritual awakenings that I know of. Yes, Kristen, wavy baby. Listen, maybe she had a 5th one that she didn't know about. Like, I don't know. How many spiritual awakenings have you had, Eddie?
I'm 39, and I think I have maybe one, and it was mainly because I was having a bad dream and I woke up. That was my
Were you
spiritual.
sober?
Maybe, yeah. No, honestly, I was not sober. It was probably a night out. I was completely drunk. I was having a really bad dream, and I woke up and I was like, yeah, this is how it feels to wake up and feeling like you're dying when you're having a bad hangover too.
No, that's a hangover, not a spiritual awakening.
Well, maybe then I have like 100 of them in my life.
Yeah, I don't want to count. Don't make me. That's where that I know of comes into play. Yeah, I love Soho. I keep calling it Soho. I don't know why, because it's the abbreviation. But
Yes, Soho Hospitality, Soho. That's one thing. I wish they kind of like use that as a hashtag instead of hashtag Southern Hospitality, which sounds so long.
So many opportunities to misspell something too.
Yeah, hashtag Soho sounds so good.
Soho Bravo, something like that.
Soho Bravo, yeah.
Take our advice.
Like, yeah, and also, we need a paycheck though. Bravo, if you're gonna use our hashtag, please send us some money because we spend a lot of time watching your shows and talking about them, and we
or at
haven't
least
seen a
some
paycheck.
BravoCon tickets. Send us some BravoCon tickets.
Thank you. Yes, I appreciate that because I am obsessed with everything BravoCon. I went. It was honestly the best experience, not of my life, but of last year. Last year.
Okay, I want to go. I may even go. If my friends aren't able to go, I'm gonna go by myself. And because I've been like, I know I will have friends there. Okay, you will be one of my friends there because I assume you're going.
I started to plan BravoCon last year by myself, and I became friend with Jenny from Bravo and Blaze.
Yeah.
We became friends.
I love her content.
Yeah, from way before BravoCon. So she said, you know what, I'm going to. And then I became friend with Vincent, who was one of the people on the virtual caller. And we started to talk because he was on the show. And I was like, you know what, let's, you come on my show. So he came on my show previously. And we went to BravoCon together. We got the same tickets for everything. And we had a good time. Yeah. Even if I go by myself, I know that I'm going to have a good time. Because you find people... There are content creators. You find people who are fans of the show that you have interact on Instagram or whatever. Because I mean, like I know who I interact with. I mean, I don't know her in person, but a lot of people, send DMs or on Twitter, like constantly interacting with me. So I kind of know their face. I might not know the person, but I know their face. So that happened at BravoCon. I had the opportunity to meet so many content creators that I knew for a long time over Twitter and stuff like that. And like Adam from Up and Adam, I love him. I'm obsessed with him because he's such a great guy.
You know what and I'll just say this. So people have been like, what is Besties by Bravo? Where did you get? That is literally where it was born, was going to Bravo like events. Like I have been a longtime listener of Watch What Crappens. And yes, Kristen, you better be going again this year because I am going to sell a kidney to go. So I was like at the Watch What Crappens Golden Crappies right before the pandemic. And when I tell you, I was leaning back, turned around in my chair, talking to people 3 rows back, like, oh my God, tell me who's your favorite one? Like that, like I couldn't shut the fuck up because I was like, you're my new best friend, you're my new best friend, you're my new best friend. We all love Bravo. Oh my God. It's obnoxious. I know I'm being obnoxious, but literally the fan base is huge. But I feel like it
Huge.
is so hard to find people that genuinely are so invested and like to talk about it, yet it's an enormous fan base. So that's why it's so fun to. I'm always like, oh my God, we're gonna be new besties because we both love Bravo.
Well, I mean, it's true. I mean, this community, the Bravo community, I mean, it has its pros and cons because not everything is hunky dory. Let's be honest, not everything is hunky dory in the Bravo
Who is hunky
community.
dory?
But when it comes down to interacting with a community who truly is invested on something, is the Bravo community. Like
Yeah.
we breathe, live, eat Bravo content.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing too is what's great about it is a lot of people don't tend like they don't have the same answer about who their favorite is like and when they don't, it's very much A side or B side. So it's very much like I am we'll take it back to Southern hospitality. I'm either very much in I love Maddie or I love Grace Lily because obviously there's gonna be something happening there. I'm trying to bring it back because I can get sidetracked very easily. I, you know, I want to ask you what your best, worst, and what the fuck were of Soho because they have a lot, a
Oh
lot.
yeah, plenty. Best. I'm gonna start with the best. I think the last episode when TJ and Mikhail were sharing their own coming out story and
Yes.
portraying that even though they are gay men, they come from two different backgrounds. They come from two different life experiences, but they both
Mm,
have something in common. They have that journey of finding themselves and
mhm.
being their true self.
I
So
loved that
I
too.
appreciate that. The worst. Let me think. I was very not into um the whole NASCAR thing.
Oh
I'm
my
not a big
God.
I'm not a big fan of NASCAR. I did like the party after, but while they were going to NASCAR, I was like don't care much about
It's
this.
cars going round and
Yeah.
round and round and round. And it's like, I'm sure it's really hard. I'm not trying to discount like what abilities you have to have. I probably could not do it. Okay. Agree. I'm not a NASCAR fan either. Oh my God. My
And
cousins are and they love it. And I'm just like, cool.
the what the fuck? I mean, I have to go with the penis and the peanut butter. That's like honestly, nothing can top that.
It sounded
Honestly,
like it couldn't be true. Like they were just being assholes making something up, right? And
yeah.
no, they weren't.
And she admitted to it like without skipping a bit. Sounds like yeah, it is true. I mean, I'm not going to um, even questioning the veracity of the information is true. She admitted to it. And the funniest part is that I kept Emmy and I were having a conversation on Instagram on DMs, and I said to her, "I hope it was a creamy
Oh my
peanut
God,
butter, not
not
a
crunchy.
crunchy one."
Oh my God. Ew, it would have been exfoliating things. Ooh.
Okay, so we have a question from Erin. She wants to know what did everyone think of Trevor posting the Instagram videos. They went to this boat party and they were all
Mhm.
drunk and having a good time. There was some, maybe it was too sexual, but they're young. They're having a great time. But Leva has a point. Their Instagram is their business card. Is connected to Republic, so I can see how she took it. So I want to know, how do you think about the Trevor situation?
Trevor in general, I don't even here's the thing, I have to remember that these people are in their early to mid 20s. Yes, I was a complete idiot when I was that age, and I'm sorry you guys think you're not, but you are. It just you'll see this in about 5 years and you'll be like, "What the fuck was I thinking?" That's excuse
We
me,
are
number
lucky.
1.
We are lucky that we didn't have social media back then.
That is exactly what I was about to say. So thank God. Okay. Being in high school and not having, I mean, there was MySpace, right? And so I used to do beauty pageants. Hi. And so I had to have like a code of conduct and like not post certain, have photos posted to me. So my social media was pretty nice and clean. I cannot imagine these kids now who think that they can get away with their Finstas. I'm a mom, so I'm fucking terrified of that. But that's that. I'm gonna move on from that. These, yes, they are in their 20s, but they've been on social media their whole life, right? Um,
Yes.
I think they probably have an idea of what they're doing. They know that pretty much everything is forever that goes on the internet. It's always going to be there. I do trust that their judgment on that is like informed. But I also agree with Leva. I think it was demeaning. No, I think they were having fun, and if that's their way to have fun, it's not that big of a deal to see two girls on top of each other. I mean, whatever, you know. Um, I, I don't think Leva needed to like threaten firing people over it. Like, dude, if Lisa Vanderpump, you're trying to be like LVP here, and if Lisa Vanderpump did that over every other thing that was happening on Vanderpump Rules, it, come on. You know what I
Everyone will have you
mean?
fired in the first episode.
I think Trevor's such a douchebag though. He literally is hanging out with Maddie because there are cameras around. Like what a
I agree.
fucking loser. He cheated on you and he's going to cheat on you again. I highly doubt they're still together. Maddie, I have my own opinions on, but at the same time, you seem smart enough and I'm not going to say smart because that's something you can't help. You seem wise enough, Maddie, to get the fuck away from Trevor. I don't know how else to tell you this. I'm 34 years old. I have dated Trevor. Not this Trevor, another Trevor. There are so many Trevors out there. Get the fuck away from Trevor.
Run, run.
Run, girl. Girl, you in danger, girl. Get out.
I
That's
I
my
I
opinion.
actually I made a post about a run uh somebody run. On the last episode, TJ shared that he was dating somebody the past summer. And he said that he was dating somebody who just came out of a relationship of 8 years with a woman. And I'm thinking, TJ, run, run. Because this man is not ready to have that same sense of stability and commitment with you, because he still has to overcome being with a woman for 8 years. So that's
Eight
a very long
years.
time.
Now, okay, now I wonder if he has always been out as bisexual or if he is because if this is his first same-sex relationship, then yeah, absolutely. TJ, run. Run, babe. Run.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I can think of because I'm like, I thought it was cute. I thought they were adorable. So I was like, oh, okay. Because once I warmed up to TJ, I was like, okay, I want to see you win. Just like how Mikkel, I liked him from the beginning. He has something about him I couldn't help but just like adore. And so I want him to win too. And that's where I'm like, "Ugh, maybe his girl knew he was bisexual, or maybe he's not bisexual. Who knows? I'm not gonna question it, but I really hope it's not his first same-sex relationship. So
I know. I do know that they're not together anymore because
okay.
I saw a an interview that he did with Jenny from Bravo and Blaze,
Okay.
and he confirmed that he's not with that person for he didn't give the reasons, but
Right.
at the same time, I feel like if you come out of a relationship for 8 years, it doesn't matter if you're a girl or a man, or I mean, because obviously, like you said, this is the chance that somebody's bisexual. We're not erasing bisexuality. The guy
Right.
might be bisexual,
Mhm.
but if you are in a relationship for 8 years and like, I don't know if it was the way that he said it, but it made me feel it was very recently that they broke up,
Yes, I agree.
right?
That's the way it sounded to me as well. I mean, I can tell I just came out of an 8-year relationship. So wow. Yeah, no, I can't imagine. Really like putting the shoe on my own foot. No, that's he's not ready for anything, whether it be
Exactly.
with a man or a woman. Just
And TJ seems to be somebody who wants something stable based on what and the way that he expressed what he
Mhm.
wants, the way that he expressed how he wants to have somebody in his life in the previous episode. I have a sense that he wants something stable, something that is gonna last the long run.
Yeah.
And this guy was not it. That was my opinion.
You know what? You and I share the same opinion. When I saw that tweet that you put out, I was like, on the nose. That's it. Yeah, truly, I agreed. I mean, I was like, ooh, TJ, no.
Yeah, I appreciate TJ a lot. We talk on Instagram, like on DMs and stuff, and like very briefly. And I think he's one of those people who is he knows who he is, and he knows what he
Mm.
wants, and it's great. Like I said, I'm excited to meet them. I'm so excited.
Oh my god. Okay, yeah, I need to check the dates and see if I can.
I'm
Oh
telling
my god,
you.
how fun! I've always wanted to go to Charleston. I think I'm
Yeah, I
gonna
never
miss
been,
out.
never been.
And I've not been that many places on the East Coast. So, oh my God. Okay, we're making so many plans already. This is happening. Like we've already included that our friend Philly Diva, Kristen, is going to be coming with us to BravoCon. Kristen, if you're still on here, I've already decided for you. So, we're going to BravoCon and then we might go to Charleston.
Yes. You know what trip I want to do with Bravo content creators, and I haven't been able to do it. I always go with like friends and whatever, but never with somebody who's truly a Bravoholic. I want to go to LA and do the whole Lisa Vanderpump slash Tom Tom slash Sandy's and Swartz, whatever restaurant
You're gonna have
that
to go with
tour.
me. I lived there for
Yeah.
10 years. I left there like during the pandemic. I was there from oh God, I'm just gonna call it 10 years because it was a long time. So I know my way around. Listen, we're going.
Okay.
I've been over there to Sir many times, and I used to actually live down the street from. I mean, when I say down the street, I would walk my dog by their house every day. Brittany and Jax, and
Yeah.
then not too far down. I mean, Valley Village was where I was at, and then Tom and Ariana, and Katie and Schwartz. They were all when I say they were right there because you could differentiate the houses that had that modern farmhouse look, and
Yes.
they were. I knew exactly which houses they were just when they showed them on the show from having walked around. Like it's a 15-minute walk to each house. It is that close. So yeah, I listen, I got you. We'll go and
Awesome.
we'll go to Pump. Villa Rosa's not open anymore, but yeah, we'll do it. It's
Oh,
fun.
oh yes, let's totally do it. Especially because since Vanderpump Rules is coming back next month, we need to make sure we live our best fantasy of the Vanderpump Rules life.
Because do you think that this is going to be I hate to say this out loud.
The last one.
Hmm.
I'm gonna say this. Many people thought that the last season was the last one, and they made it through it. It was a hard season to watch, not because it was
Yeah.
bad, but it was because the pandemic. It was filmed during the pandemic, so they couldn't go anywhere. They were always like filming in somebody's home. They
Hmm.
barely they barely made it to that Coachella theme party that they had
Engagement. Oh God.
because it was just them. It was nobody else. It was just them throwing that party. So I think that maybe this season is gonna go back to what it was before that. I still like last season. I appreciate last season for what it was. I know a lot of people were like, "Oh, this is the worst season ever," but I mean, it was filmed during the pandemic. You have to give, a break to a lot of the shows because a lot of the shows were not so great during the pandemic. Filming was hard, and they couldn't do anything.
Yeah, I mean, I blame the pandemic for killing the original Roni. I don't think a lot of people try and blame like Ebony, they try and blame Ramona, but I really think it was the pandemic filming that literally brought Roni to its knees, and that's why we're now starting over. So I completely agree with that.
I'm honestly excited about the new Ronnie. Are you excited for the new Ronnie? I'm not talking about the legacy. I'm talking about the reboot.
I oh gosh, but what is Roni without Luann, Ramona, and Sonia? I am Ooh, that's such a I don't like the idea of poo-pooing anything before it's come out, right? So I'm kind of I'm on the fence. I want
You're
to
waiting
see
for it
it
to
do
come
well.
out.
Yeah, I want to see it do well, but I'm because we here's the thing, this is where a lot of the housewife shows are going to hit this point, right? Where if they are not bringing in enough younger people, we're going to end up with housewives that have, and I don't like this idea, so please bear with me on where I'm taking you on this journey, that have quote unquote aged out of a specific demographic, right? So Ramona, Sonia, listen, I love to see women of any age enjoying themselves, going out partying, meeting guys, doing whatever they want to do. The problem is when you try and bring in like a 30-something-year-old housewife and expect us to believe that she's hanging out with 60-year-old housewives. I don't know that that makes sense. So you can either keep us there and then have like another show with real friendships, because if we're going to make it real friendships, that's where it's harder to believe.
Yes.
And it has nothing to do with anyone when I should have rephrased the aging out thing. Aging out of the friend group, where, like I said, I I mean, I'm in my 30s. I'm not hanging out on trips with a lot of 50, 60-year-olds. Do I think I could have a grand old time? Yeah. It's just maybe not as organic is where I'm going with
Yes.
that. I still want to see the friend group in their 50s and 60s. I enjoy them. So it's not that. It's just we're gonna have to wait and see.
I agree with you, especially when you said the age difference. And
Hmm.
we saw that happen in Beverly Hills when Crystal joined the cast. You can tell that Crystal is obviously younger than the Lisa Renas and the Kyle Richards of the world. You can tell
Hmm.
that they're living mentally in two different sets of like values and life experiences. Being 10, 15 years younger is a huge difference. And I mean, it sounds like nothing, but it's a
Yes.
huge difference in life experiences.
Exactly. That, because for me, I don't know that I could hang out with a 22-year-old at the point I'm in. Maybe I could. It depends on the 22-year-old. Would I end up having a completely different dynamic and organic relationship than I would someone maybe only 6 years younger than me? Yeah. And that's where it doesn't take the same type of normal friendship role, and it kind of twists things. And I feel like, especially with Leah on there, she kind of would we caught a lot of moments where she'd literally be like, Mom, jokingly. But I mean, she really, the dynamic, because some people can't get past that, right? Um,
Yeah.
it just depends.
I
Yes.
honestly, I'm excited for both Ronnie and the Legacy, just because we get two different shows that we can talk about it.
Yeah. Only if they put Legacy on Peacock, because I feel like Peacock is like the place to be right now.
Oh
I
yeah,
know, because everyone's been like, "Oh, Miami needs to go on to Bravo. They deserve
no.
Bravo." No, keep them with the same production company. They are in the place they need to be, because I can tell you, I would not be on Peacock right now if it weren't for them. So
And
I
honestly, like I have many conversation about this whole bring Miami to Peacock
I'm sure. Yeah.
commentary. I'm exhausted trying to explain people how networks and budgets work. The
Right.
fact that Miami is on Peacock and it's working is because Peacock is banking on Miami to be
Yes.
successful. So they put in the budgets, they put in the good production towards them. If they bring Miami to Bravo, it becomes a secondary franchise like Salt Lake City, because Bravo's main franchises are New Jersey, Beverly Hills, Atlanta, and currently Potomac, because it's rising to the occasion, because
Yeah.
Potomac came out later in the game. So like the
Hmm.
old school franchises like Atlanta, New Jersey, New York, and Beverly Hills are the main pillars of Bravo.
Yeah.
But then now Potomac, being a 7 season franchise, having a strong cast, is joining that legacy that those franchises have. So if we bring Miami to Bravo, it's not going to have the same impact
Agreed.
because Bravo's not focused on them.
Well, even New Jersey, as you're mentioning, like they are a huge franchise for them. From what I understand, we're getting another short season from Jersey.
Yes,
So
yeah.
if they'll do that on one of their like juggernaut franchises, can you imagine they would do Miami dirty? And plus, obviously it's different production companies within a, a a lot of the franchises. Not every single one, I'm pretty sure, but I think Revolution does both Vanderpump Rules and Beverly Hills. And oh my
Yeah.
God, we forgot about Orange County. Ooh.
I'm just gonna say this: Orange County might be the OG, but it's definitely not the most memorable. I said it. Period. That.
Not anymore. Not anymore. I don't know. God. Yeah. I mean, it's been Don't even get me started. They should have kept Noella. I don't understand it. Don't understand it. God forbid they
And
have a woman of color on that show, but okay.
Noella is a perfect example too of bringing somebody really young in the mix with a very older cast. She was young, and you can tell that she was not the same age mentally or financially or anything compared to the other ladies.
Because of what she was going through. And so what's so funny is like if you live in Los Angeles, you hear about Sweet James Brown constantly. Oh my God. There have so many radio commercials. Like who does the radio commercials for an attorney anymore? And so whenever I saw who Sweet James, that's what they call him. Sweet James. Literally. He's not James, he's Sweet James. And so all the commercials talk about Sweet James in LA. And when I heard what he did to her, I was like, well, this motherfucker's not sweet. I think they should have kept Noella. They could have brought Tamara back. I loved seeing Noella trigger Heather Dubrow. Those fancy pants got in such a little twist over Noella. She would bring it. She was unabashed, and then I think she came in. The beauty of Noella, she came in with an agenda, and she thought she was going to have this type of like, oh, I'm a housewife now, and then all the stuff with her husband happened, and she got so raw and so
Yeah.
real. And why she's not back, I don't know. I'm
One
confused.
thing that I appreciate about Noella is that she definitely got Heather working for her paycheck. I love Heather Dubrow. I love her. I love Fancy Pants. I think I love that she brought wealth to OC. I mean, before Heather came to the OC, to me personally, the OC was just rich soccer moms. It was not
Sweetheart.
wealthy. It was just soccer moms that has some wealth in their bank, but it was not Beverly Hills level of wealth. So
Right.
when Heather joined the cast, she brought the wealth the OC was missing.
She did.
But for Heather to work for her paycheck, somebody needs to push her to do it. Somebody
Yeah.
needs to push the button, and that was Noella this season. So I do agree that Noella was needed for that.
And you know what? It's interesting you say that because and listen, I'm sure you know this in case any of your listeners don't. So Heather had auditioned more than once to be on OC. And Andy kept saying that he didn't think she was ready to really be what it takes to be a housewife in the sense of revealing the most uncomfortable parts of yourself. And that's what we do have to remember too, is what it takes for these women. They have to have those raw moments or else we don't believe it. And it's a bunch of actresses, right? And, yes, we all know that there is an element of storytelling. We're fully aware of that. But there's also a lot of stuff that it's so improvised that if you, and especially from her being an actor, if you're not in it in the moment, you're not gonna the audience is gonna know. Okay. That's just plain and simple. And I think from what I remember hearing Andy say, and this was like one of those almost like VH1. Oh my God, I'm gonna age myself. One of those VH1 behind the
This,
housewives. Y'all remember when they do? Oh my God, I sound so fucking old. Um, shit. Um, time for Botox again. But Andy was talking about, I know I'm like too expressive, but Andy was talking about how they like just said she wasn't ready and she was just too concealed in who she was. And listen, I love seeing a triggered Heather Dubrow. I'm mixed about how I feel about her because she can be a bit diabolical to me. But when she really revealed herself whenever that girl broke the bow off of her cake. That's just when she first finally was like, she broke the bow off of my cake. That's the true Heather Dubrow moment, and I love that side of Heather Dubrow.
so Aaron has a question here for us. This is gonna be the last question of the night before we go because it's been amazing. But we have a returning housewife in OC, and we
Hmm.
want to know what do we think about Tamara coming back.
What do you think? I want to hear you first.
I'm excited. I love Tamara for it. Tamara is the type of housewife that is messy, that is fun. That yes, it's not the cup of tea for everybody. We all know that. She can be a little too much sometimes, but the OC without Tamara, it's kind of not as exciting. I think
Yeah.
Tamara has that personality that bring the show to um, a different pace. She knows how to produce herself too. She's very
Mhm.
aware of what she can bring, and
Yeah,
and she knows how to stir the pot. You know, so I'm excited. I like Tamara better than I like Vicky too. I know a lot of people love Vicky because she's the OG and blah blah blah, but I'm honestly not as I'm not a big fan of her. There's too many things about her that I never liked,
I don't
but
like her
I do like
politics,
Tamara.
so
Yeah,
and
and
that's personal to me. But, I if you're into that conservative stuff, you're also into excluding specific groups of people that I don't think should be excluded. So we're just going to start there. Um, that's number one. Yeah. So it's interesting because I was listening. I had never listened to the two T's in a podcast, and I actually listened to it the other day while I was working out because I'm, whatever. And I did hear Tamara make a good point, how everyone was all up in arms, ready to kick Tamara off of OC. We can't stand Tamara, we're sick of her. And she was comparing it to the Lisa Renna stuff, right? And so I think what Tamara doesn't know or doesn't recognize is that Tamara did not ever go after anyone who couldn't hold their own.
that's
Tamara
right.
always went toe to toe with people. She wouldn't go after, like, if she went in with Shannon, she didn't go in with Shannon at her weakest moment. She would go in with Shannon when Shannon was toe to toe with her. That's like the best example I can give. Um,
Yeah,
Rinna was being a bully, right?
that's right.
And so that's the biggest difference. I don't find Tamara to be a bully. Do I think Tamara can be a shithead? Yeah, but every single housewife can be a shithead, and that's why they're good housewives.
That's right.
I'm excited for her to come back. We do need Tamara there because yes, she's going to bring in those uncomfortable conversations. Tamara's not afraid to do it. And I think this go around, she's like, I am ready to get that paycheck back. And she's gonna go in. And I think she probably chased Heather Dubrow off. I'm not the biggest Vicky fan, but I like it. I like Vicky when it's her with Tamara and Shannon. She's more likable that way. She's less likable when she's by herself, right? But she's
Yes.
also so funny when she puts her foot in her mouth. I like there was I'll end on my thought on this where at BravoCon, maybe you were there when she did this. Oh my god, I forget like you were there. I'm so jealous. When Andy confronted her about no, Teresa confronted Vicky, excuse me, about calling her the most underrated housewife. And
I
Tamara
was
is
there.
just, oh my God, how was the tension like
Oh,
thick,
the thing is
thick,
that
thick?
it escalated because it first started with the beef that they were trying to squash was the beef between Vicky and Ashley
Oh,
because Ashley had an interview with Vicky and the media,
right,
and Vicky did not know who she was and where was the housewife and whatever, so she gave her
right.
an attitude. So they were trying to squash that beef, but then Kenya chimed in and he said like
That
um, that she was mean to her, to Melissa and somebody else when they went to Vegas because Vicky expect like special treatment from the other housewife as a thank you for being the OG of the franchises. And then Teresa was like, "Wait a minute, you also were telling that I was the most overrated housewife and whatever." So it was like a whole escalation of beef in just one spot. It was amazing.
I am so jealous that you got to watch that play out. And like I made this TikTok because it immediately caused me to think of this like random sound that I don't know, it's like a door opening and it's like some British guys going shit, shit, shit. And that it's like Tamara in the background just shaking her head no at Vicky when as soon as Teresa says, "Oh, why? I heard you call me the most underrated housewife." And Vicky's like, "Oh, well," and you just see watch the video again of her because Tamara is in the back. She like leans her head in and she's like, "Oh no, 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 no." She's literally saying no in the background, and it is so hilarious. That makes me, for whatever reason, like Vicky more. Tamara makes some people more likable, and I don't know what it is. She's got a special housewife quality. I
I
am
agree.
excited about her coming back. I hope she's gonna do CPR on the OC. I believe it.
Yes, and that's what we need. Okay, Caitlin, anything that you want to say before we go? Anyone want to plug? This is your time, it's
Oh
your
my God.
space.
I just want to say thank you so much for having me on. And I am so excited. Y'all, Eddie's going to be on my pod next week and we're going to just chit chat some more. I've had so much fun with you. Thank you for having me on. And oh my God, like we might go to Charleston and we're definitely going to hang out at BravoCon and then we might go to LA. So I'm very
All the
excited.
thing of the things. We are doing
Yes.
all the things of the things. And thank you for coming on my show tonight, Caitlin. I honestly had
Thank
the
you.
best time.
Me
We're
too.
besties forever now. We are
Yes,
making all these plans because we are gonna make it happen.
we
Especially
are.
Bravo Con, because Bravo Con, I'm telling you, I'm gonna we'll talk about the tea that I have from BravoCon in private.
Oh my
So
gosh, you guys, it's that good.
it is that good. But thank you for coming. Caitlin, we can find you on Instagram,
Yes.
Twitter, podcast as.
Yes, Besties by Bravo. You can find the podcast on Apple, iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and I think I just joined Amazon Music, Audible, so you can probably find it there. TikTok, Twitter. Yeah, we're okay there, but let's. It's also on Instagram at Besties by Bravo.
And besties, as you know, every single time that I finish my podcast, I just want to say thank you for everybody who was here, Aaron, Philly Diva, everybody who joined. I really
Yes.
appreciate you guys and keeping the conversation moving. Also want to invite you guys to go follow my Instagram, follow my Twitter, my podcast, my YouTube channel, all the thing of the thing. You can find me as Martini with Eddie. Please subscribe to my podcast and leave a rate because we
5-star
survived through
reviews.
rates.
Yes. Leave 5 stars.
Yes, please. And Caitlin, thank you so much, and we
Thank
will stay in
you.
touch.
Yes, we will. Bye.
Bye. Okay, guys, that was everything for tonight. Please go follow my Instagram, Twitter, podcast, YouTube as Martini with Eddie. Have a great weekend. And as you know, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. Bye, besties.